not feel like we have enough room?
I don't. We're a bit tight.
Snuggle buddies.
Is there a reason?
Well, someone...
Motherfucking snuggle buddies.
Is that fucking Robert?
What? Hey, Robert. I'm back.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a fucking big edition. Big fucking edition of the
Literally.
IWR show. Literally. Got our boy Robert back for this one. Glad to have him. Glad to be here. It's going to be some great stuff. And he is here for this very entertaining edition of the IWR show. He's not being a satellite
in person.
For our 2012 WWE Extreme Rules review from my partners Quad, Robert, and Ryan, I am your host, J-Man. In this edition, like I said, we're going to be covering the 2012 WWE Extreme Rules review. Very entertaining night. Provided some just really great action and just overall a really great show.
And all four of us.
And all four of us. So that's why we're all here for it.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting things to talk about on this pay-per-view, and we're going to run it all down for you. First matchup, we had a Falls Count Anywhere match between Randy Orton and Kane.
Yeah, I mean, with this here, I was really impressed with what they really did. I was kind of expecting another match like they did at WrestleMania and other matches like they did on SmackDown. They brawled all the way through the crowd. They went to the back. Some interesting spots. It was good, but it wasn't amazing. Got in the back and they had these. Some people sitting back there watching, and Ryder jumped in and started, getting his little due on Kane, and just getting back out into the ring. It was just a solid Falls Count, Anywhere match with Kane in it, and Randy Orton producing, with anybody nowadays. It was just a pretty solid match here, and it was a good way to open. And I wasn't expecting this to be as good as it actually was.
Yeah, like you said, this was really entertaining all over the place. I did not think this was going to go to the kind of lengths that they went with the Falls Count Anywhere match. This is what they should, produce the Falls Count Anywhere matches. It should be all over the place. And this really was, as Ryan said, Randy going out there with Kane and having, a really solid match in my eyes. I think to definitely what the extent that we've seen with Kane lately, definitely something to... his upper side on that one. That didn't make any fucking sense, by the way. Definitely something, the upper side. That doesn't sound like we're talking about a city. But definitely something to the good extent that we've seen out of Kane lately. And, just like I said, all over the place. And then finally, having Randy get the win off that RKO onto the steel chair, I believe. And just a really solid Falls Count Anywhere matchup.
Yeah, with the crowd being so hot to start the night and having this match start, we knew it was going to be an interesting night.
When you go to Chicago, the crowds that Chicago produces, from Money in the Bank to Extreme Rules, they're just so into it. You get Randy and Kane feuding through the crowd, up the stairs. You get fans trying to get involved. It goes backstage, kind of old school, the old style, and they go back there with Zack Ryder and Primo and everybody kind of like, what is going on? And Ryder tries to get his pay-per-view spot, and it was actually a really good match. I enjoyed it. It would give us some time so they was able to drag it out and do things right.
Yeah, I really did get a lot of time there, and Randy Orton get the win in the Falls Count Anywhere match. Next match up, we had yet again another fucking Brodus Clay squash match on a pay-per-view. This time with one of the best talents in the world today, being one of the most underutilized guys in the world, Dolph Ziggler.
The Funkasaurus made his appearance on Extreme Rules. Yeah, buddy. And Hornswoggle. Boy, we were set for a show. This is fucking epicness. We saw the disco ball, and we knew it was coming. We just didn't know when.
We knew it was coming? We didn't know when?
The match.
We knew the match was coming.
Either way.
My first match, my first pay-per-view back in a while, and starts out with Kane and Randy. I'm like, all right, this is going to be somewhere. Then this happened. I vomited. My mouth, because I didn't know what to expect. Funkasaurus. When I seen Hornswoggle in the...
We're so glad to have Robert back. His comments like that.
Vomited.
I didn't notice that he vomited. I sat like 3 feet from him.
When he makes that tiny burp noise.
That's it.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it was just awful. Dolph Ziggler is one of the best in the business today, and this was just awful.
Yeah, this is the best squash match he's ever had. I'm not going to defend Funkasaurus here, but
come on now, boy.
I was entertained. I thought this. I really like. They played it off like Dolph could have had a chance.
Yeah.
He sold really well for Brodus Clay. People were getting involved. I was entertained, but it wasn't a great match. The thing that we're going to mention a lot about this show, how just overall, there's literally just everything was entertaining, even though this was a squash.
The shitty parts were entertaining
Yeah,
too.
even the shitty parts were just entertaining. Like we weren't like, you know, being like this, you know, we really thought that, you know, that this was. I mean, I thought it was entertaining, but you know, Dolph didn't win. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yet again, like we said, you know, Dolph coming out there in a fucking Brodus Chloe match is just like, what the fuck. But I mean, it is what it is. We're gonna probably continue to see it for seemingly the months to come, because that's what we've gotten out of it lately. But Dolph Ziggler does not need to be in this matchup. It's just a poor use of just talent that is seemingly just to fall down like on his face, like almost like what the Miz was doing. You just can't do that. I mean, this guy needs to go up and up, and just doing the same old shit. Brodus Clay, it's just getting so old, and I don't know how everybody hasn't realized that by yet. But yet again, Brodus Clay with his sidekick Joe C. I could have sworn he was dead, but he's not dead. He's
10'9" with a.
Or you said that wrong.
Never mind.
It's 3'9" with a like 10-foot dick or something. Like that.
It's yeah, whatever.
It's 10'9" with 3-foot dick. It's close enough. Close enough.
We don't listen to a lot of Kid Rock. If you can tell, we're full grown ass men. Yeah, you know, we don't listen to that shit.
We aren't devils without a cause, and we're not going platinum.
We are not.
We're not going to do that.
We are cocky though. Let's go.
We are. That is true. This is just starting out tremendously, ladies and gentlemen. Next
Anybody
matchup.
vomited in their mouth there?
No, only Robert.
Vomited?
Next matchup, we have the tables match for the Intercontinental title. When champion Big Show went up against Cody Rhodes.
Well, we had a new Intercontinental champion in Cody Rhodes. Yeah, how is Cody going to put Big Show through a table? Well, have Big Show step through the table and have the referee see it, and that's how you do it. And I mean, it was actually, I was hoping it'd be a little more entertaining than that. Of course, Big Show puts his foot through the table and just looks like, uh-oh, what'd I do?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I thought this was played right. I think just because I knew, you know, they weren't going to have Cody Rhodes pin the Big Show. Pin Big Show. To me, it was the right move to put the belt back on him. Like we said 100 times, it's a more of a workhorse title. You can't really have Big Show go out there and have 15-minute matches with people. He's just not there anymore in his career. I mean, he's in good shape, but he's just a big ass dude, and he just can't do it. But yeah, I mean, the aftermath of this, which was great. You know, they had Big Show kind of like after he lost, kind of like the crowd was booing it, like cheering because Cody won, and you know they were booing Big Show because he was going after Cody, and he kind of like did this little heel thing where he was like kind of smirking at the crowd, and he was like, "Yeah, come on, bring the fucking heat." And he, you know, picked him up and threw him over the top rope onto a table and just annihilated Cody Rhodes. The crowd popped huge for it, and you know, like we said, another thing, match wasn't that great, but the entertainment value of this was just there. Like, we were entertained and we talked about it and everything, so I think it was okay.
The entertainment value was there, and for me, the biggest thing is getting Cody Rhodes the Intercontinental title back. That's a very smart move. They should have never dropped it. They had Big Show have his little moment at WrestleMania, which was what it was, but giving Cody the IC title, which really, you know, should have been stayed there. He was one of the most solid champions they had, and really something he needs to continue to build on. I think WWE really realizes that he might not be to that main event status yet, but holding on to that IC title, having some great matches with some guys that he can have great matches with. Going in there with a Big Show isn't what you need to be doing with Cody Rhodes. But yeah, the aftermath was insane. Having table spot where he just destroyed the hell of him, but Cody's still getting back up and holding up that IC title, which is great to see. But Cody Rhodes, your new Intercontinental champion, great stuff there.
Yeah, I think they just gave Big Show that one shiny moment at WrestleMania, because every time before this past year's WrestleMania, he just completely fell on his face. So, like, here you go. You can have this, but I want it back next pay-per-view. So don't destroy it.
Cody Rhodes, your new back to being Intercontinental champion there. Next matchup, we have the 2 out of 3 falls match for the World Heavyweight Championship, featuring champion Sheamus going up against Daniel Bryan. I was really looking forward to this one. I know during the preview I was saying if this gets the time that it is, you know, allotted in the time that a World Heavyweight Championship match should get, I believe this can really provide Sheamus his best match of his career and provide a match that Daniel Bryan could really showcase his talents with, because in a 2 out of 3 falls atmosphere, that's what's going to happen. And in all actuality, that's exactly what we got. We got a really solid about 20-minute match. What was it, like 20 minutes or something?
23 minutes.
Yeah, so like 23-minute match up there. Didn't have like a hint at a first quick fall, kind of like what they did with WrestleMania, having Sheamus come out in that 18-second shirt, which was pretty funny to see that. But I mean, Daniel Bryan getting control of this match, which is what they needed to do with him there and with Sheamus. They had to have Daniel Bryan in control of Sheamus and really doing some classic Daniel Bryan mat work and, the stuff to the outside and everything in there. And Sheamus really kind of started to get comfortable with Daniel Bryan in there, which seems to happen with a lot of guys that are in there with him. But this provided a really great match. Definitely one of the highlights on this show. But Sheamus still retaining the World Heavyweight Championship. Would, of course, love to see Daniel Bryan get it there. But really what I wanted to get out of this was a really solid match. And that's really what we got. And, something to really show Sheamus that, this is what he can be capable of if he's in there with these kind of guys like a Daniel Bryan, which he might have to be in there with those guys that have to make him work his ass off. But, if that's what we get with those kind of guys, this is going to be some great stuff as far as, he being in there with those kind of guys. But Daniel Bryan looking amazing, obviously over as a mofo in Chicago, a big wrestling city. Great to see there with the whole yes and no kind of transitions in between there. But really solid matchup here. I thought this was great. And Sheamus retaining the World Heavyweight Championship.
It was a good match, better than the WrestleMania match, so...
I think so.
But it was interesting to see... even though Sheamus won, Daniel Bryan still got a bunch of love in Chicago. So.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Bryan, his past wrestling in Chicago, he was the best in the world at one point. When you put somebody in a match with somebody like Sheamus, who has a little bit of talent, but like J-Man said, you just got to pull it out of him. They wrestled 20-plus minutes. It was probably the best match of Sheamus' career. And Daniel Bryan just continued what he's always done and always will do, the submission, the kicks, just being himself.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he wasn't able to win that title, and Sheamus did retain the title, but maybe Sheamus needed a jump-off point for his career when everybody looks back when he, in 5 years, if he's really great, that match with Daniel Bryan, Extreme Rules, is what set Sheamus off, hopefully in better career than he had so far.
That's absolutely right, and that's definitely what I was going to say. When you look back at these guys like the Cenas, the Batistas, Randy Ortons, even Edge, and in certain cases, it really, like, a certain match in their career, like, solidifies them as a main eventer. And I felt like this match really right here proved to me that Sheamus can get in there and work with these guys, and he did some great stuff in this. Daniel Bryan's absolutely amazing, but Sheamus getting on the ground and working with Daniel Bryan, did a clover leaf. Yeah. Working a long match, you could tell Sheamus this was probably the best match of his career in WWE, obviously. And it was just great. To me, I personally thought this was the best thing on the whole show. I loved this. I loved how the crowd worked with this. Everything about this was great to me. And I think that, like I said, this is a launching point, I think, for Sheamus to be a solidified main eventer. Because, we know when guys like Punk and Daniel Bryan and other guys who have been on the Indies or Ring of Honor come in there, and they don't need to prove themselves in a main event title match because we know that they can go for 25 minutes and work. This proved to me that Sheamus can go and work, and I loved this match. I thought this was very good.
Yeah, really good stuff there, and Sheamus retaining the World Heavyweight Championship. Next matchup, we didn't get enough from the Brodus Clay squash match. We had to have a fucking Ryback squash match.
Versus Aaron Relic and Jay
Hatton. We need to get their names out there because they're probably going to all be excited that we remember their names.
They cut promos.
That's right.
They did.
But it said on Wikipedia,
two jobbers?
Ryback versus two jobbers.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be called Goldberg.
Right. Actually, what's his name?
His name is Ryvan Berg because we have the Goldberg, kind of just dominating kind of presence. You have the Ryback, obviously, what he is, whatever the hell that means. I don't know if he cuts wood for a living or some shit. I really don't know. Eats it. I don't know. And then you have the Rob Van Dam, just 96 gear going there.
It is. There's a guy from WCW that just reminds me of this guy just so much, and I can't think of his freaking ass name. If you guys remember out there, let me know. I have no idea.
Goldberg?
With the trunk.
No, I think we're thinking somebody else. It's
Goldberg is the obvious one. I think his name's Atom Bomb or something
like that. Yeah,
I can't remember.
He wore green and had really dark shit or something like that.
No, that guy's name was Kane, something bullshit.
Shit, we're getting everyone confused.
Who fucking knows?
WCW knowledge lacking today.
Yeah, we somewhere in that range. You should know. You're WCW guy.
Yeah, come on, WCW bro.
But this was just fucking hilarious.
It looked like Goldberg when he first came out.
Ryback just squashing people is just fucking hilarious. The things he does is just funny as hell to me. Like the way he just beats the shit out of people. just sometimes people just want to just watch people just get beat up. You know, I mean, it could have not been on here, but they're just building this guy up, dude. They must have plans for these guys. The problem is they have all these guys. Listen, Ryback, Lord Tensai, and Funkasaurus, all these big dudes that are just squashing people. Who are they gonna? Are they gonna have a triple threat?
Yeah, we're gonna have triple
Who's
threat.
gonna squash who?
Who can squash me of squashing the squash matches?
Just.
Then the Big Show comes in and chokeslam.
I just really don't know. But this was, like I said, another entertaining thing. But it just kind of just was not really much of anything.
Yeah, I really don't know what the fuck they're going with here, but they're gonna push this, you know, late '90s dominating fucking Goldberg, whatever the fuck you want to call it, gimmick, and we'll see where it goes. And they'll have the Usos on the screen just looking at it like, man, this boy gonna be some shit
It
here.
wasn't Usos this time. It was Santino and Greg Khali.
That's right. They've had like the Usos, Santino, Khali, fucking, I don't even know.
Just having everyone backstage eventually watching
Man,
him.
this boy's something right here.
They're
Like,
probably
what the
going
fuck are
to
they doing?
maybe do the streak thing with him, like Goldberg.
God, I
He's
hope
gonna be
not.
2-0, 3-0, 5-0, whatever.
Yeah, we'll just have squash
It's
matches for the
coming.
next year and a fucking half. That'll be great.
2012 Goldberg.
There we go. Next matchup, we have something that we'll definitely be talking about and nothing to make fun of here. We have the Chicago Street Fight for the WWE Championship featuring champion Chicago's own CM Punk going up against Chris Jericho. They all came out in their Street Fight gear with, you know, the rugged old jeans cut up and everything, getting ready for their Street Fight here. Really had an old school feel to it, especially being in Chicago, which really brings that there. And, you know, these guys go out and put out what I really think they could do every single night. You know, these guys are just naturals. These guys are, as they say, just the best in the world and really go out and provide, you know, any type of match they need to provide, and that's what they did here with this Street Fight. Just had some great spots, the kendo sticks, the tables, stuff like that. Definitely one that sticks out is Punk's elbow drop that he did, almost falling over, laughing at himself, botching something, and fucking, didn't botch it, but almost falling over, and then doing that elbow drop was great to see there. The transitions between them teasing, doing each other's finishers, the interaction between you know, Jericho and Punk and Punk's sister in the crowd. I think that was some, you know, entertaining stuff. But I mean, these guys can just go out there with their eyes closed seemingly and just put on some really great stuff, and that's really what they did here. And CM Punk retaining the championship, great move there. I thought they could have possibly gave it to Jericho, you know, kind of being in, you know, Punk's hometown. Could have saw that there, but definitely the smart move to still keep it on Punk and just roll with the hottest thing and the best thing they have going, which is just night in and night out. These guys can go out and just put on great stuff, and that's what they'll continue to do, and that's what they did here. And CM Punk, still your WWE champion.
All I heard was ECW champ about halfway through.
Oh God, really?
But besides that, it was a really good match. It was a street fight, so you know it was going to be some hard-hitting stuff. So
Why are you even here? Sabu's in the hospital.
Yeah, dude.
What the hell are you doing here?
I already sent him cookies.
He just got back from that Extreme reunion.
I already
so
sent
he's
him
pumped
cookies
about
and
that.
flowers.
I've already seen Buff Bagwell. Where have you been?
Yeah,
I already sent him cookies.
that's
and
too soon.
flowers.
That might be too soon. You know?
Is it too soon?
It might be too soon.
Is he okay? I feel like
Is
it's
Buff the stuff anymore?
Back to the match.
I feel bad. Let's continue.
CM Punk, Chris Jericho, the best in the world versus the best in the world. What more can you say? You know, CM Punk in Chicago. It's 2 pay-per-views within a year in Chicago, and CM Punk is 2-0 winning the world title, or retaining the title.
He has nothing else to say. He literally said that. I have nothing else to
I
say.
lost my train of thought.
It's Robert's first time back. It's all good.
He crappeted his pants.
He's so
Yeah,
excited.
watching CM Punk do an elbow drop from the top rope through the announce table.
Yeah.
You know, seeing CM Punk, his sister slapping Jericho, it just had an old school feel to it.
Yeah.
And just watching Punk just be Punk, you know, the whole video package leading up to it, everything that's happened between these two. What's next?
Yeah.
I can just imagine what the next match between the two is going to be.
Yeah, this was great. They told a really great story here. I think they told a better story here than they did at WrestleMania.
Yep. That's a trend. A lot of things being better than
Yeah,
WrestleMania.
yeah. This pay-per-view was by far better than WrestleMania.
Yep.
Overall quality, entertainment value, to me, I just shattered it. I like how they did this, and I think it's interesting because they really did like a slow, calculated kind of like street fight here, where you know they really built to a big payoff here, and you know, getting everyone involved like they said, and you know, with his sister and all the spots, and definitely the Shane elbow spot, which was great.
Yeah.
You know, having Punk win here, this was, you know, like I said, they like he said, they seemingly can just get in there and do whatever they want and just have, you know, great matches.
Natural chemistry. Yep.
I was very happy with how this match turned out.
Yeah, good stuff there. And CM Punk remaining your WWE champion. Next matchup, we had the Divas title on the line. It was originally scheduled to be the new champion, Nikki Bella, going up against Beth Phoenix. Eve, now the executive, whatever the fuck, for Laurinaitis, saying
Cocksucker.
that something. That's
harsh.
That's right to the point, isn't it?
Damn. That is.
Saying that Beth is still too injured to go for the title here. Whatever, we gotta get technical with it. Saying, Nikki, you could go out there and see who your opponent is. There's a lot of ideas being thrown out by all of us. Possibly Karma coming out, possibly just having it be Brie doing the Bella against the Bella there. But it ended up being Layla returning, and we've heard a lot about possibly Layla coming back soon. We heard she's possibly getting healthy and getting ready back in there, and working in FCW, working on her craft and working on her craft. That just sounds too technical for that, but that's
just
all right.
cheese, bro.
But getting absolutely no pop for that, which was kind of sad to see that, because at least there's a return and something was decided, but nobody really gave a shit because they really wanted Karma out of that. But really out of this, you got some pretty solid stuff from Layla. Really looked impressive in this matchup. Looked a lot more solid than what she's ever been in my eyes. And, Nikki can do her little stuff here and there, but in the end, it came down to Nikki getting her fucking head guillotined off by Layla's neckbreaker there, and Layla is your new Divas champion.
We went Karma champ, but I'm kind of glad that it was Layla. It's interesting to see why she didn't return earlier, but she probably just wanted. She came back and she looked like she lost a lot of weight. Not hating on her for that, but just
obviously,
it looks like she got her wrestling skill down to a T now. It's like before she was kind of shaky in the ring and you really didn't know what was going to happen, and she was behind McCool and all that. But now she's in there and she can actually go. So like.
One little detail in this, Nikki did not lose the title, Brie did. They swapped out, and Brie was actually the one that took the neck breaker and actually got pinned.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Technicality Robert is back. Suck on that. We got times, too, if you want them. We got the times back.
Time limits, everything.
That's right.
This is the best Layla's ever looked. Yeah. She looked phenomenal in the ring this time.
Even though the bells look like dominant.
They look like they're going to a stripper's funeral.
Yeah, stripper's funeral. They look like dominatrixes. Right. I was kind of glad to see Layla here. Like they said, that's one of my chicks, man. I just get off on that.
Whoa, get off? That's too soon.
It's sleepy time.
Sleepy masturbation time. Rest Development.
All right, but I was glad to see her back here, and the great thing out of this was she looked like she was so comfortable in the ring. Like she was doing everything. She looked great. Can't wait to see her do more stuff. She looked really good in this match, and it was kind of sad the crowd really didn't care too much, but. She hit that nasty neck breaker at the end. I just I didn't mark, but I kind of was like, ooh. Yeah.
You're like, ow.
Ooh, that looks like that really hurt.
Ooh, why?
But, I don't mark for divas unless they're naked. But this was, I enjoyed this.
Define mark.
I didn't say jerk. I said
mark. Okay. I didn't know where that was going.
Layla looked good. So... keep that ass rolling, baby.
That's right, and it's really interesting. It's just good to see something different and something surprising or something out of the Divas division, because it just kind of seems like the same old stale thing. So, got a new stuff going on there with Layla, your new Divas champion. Moving on now to the much anticipated main event. It was the Extreme Rules match between Brock Lesnar and John Cena. Really looking forward to this one, just like I said in the preview, to see what we got out of it, because I was really kind of not concerned, but really interested to really see what we got out of this. And as soon as the first entry came out, which was Brock Lesnar, came out in his straight UFC gear with the UFC pants and the gloves and the fucking boots, and I'm like, don't do this. And they've really hinted at over the past couple weeks that it's basically like UFC Brock Lesnar being transplanted back into the WWE. I didn't want to see that. I just want to see Brock Lesnar, the WWE Brock Lesnar. I don't want to see this, bringing in the UFC kind of trend, which I'll get to something later that kind of reminded me or kind of sparked something to me out of that. But had that come in there, and then it just turned in basically to just a fight. And they really just had Brock Lesnar destroy the shit out of John Cena for a good, 5 to 7 minutes, have him bust him open in the first, couple elbows he threw. And really just seemed like it was just going to be just torture for John Cena the entire night, where he just got his ass kicked. And, we had the interesting spot with just fucking... Yep. Just Super Brock just going for his jump off that steel step
through the ropes
with no regard for what the fuck was gonna happen when he ended at that ropes and hit Cena and just fucking fumbled right on out of there. Like everybody was hurt out of that, but he got back up, and yet again we had the typical kind of John Cena working his way back, and him with a chain, and had the FU on the steel steps that we've seen numerous times again. But after that, we got a really interesting thing out of this with John Cena cutting this promo saying that, this is not what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to come out here and just kind of leave. But I really wanted to say this, saying how, he's possibly going to be taking some time off, and if this is going to be the last time we're going to see him for a while, he's glad to be, in Chicago and having this match here. So a lot of things coming out of this match, a lot of questions to be answered to what's going to be going on in the future with not only John Cena, but with Brock Lesnar. But your winner in this match, John Cena.
Yeah, it was interesting to see blood.
Yes.
It wasn't like a little strip on your hand. It was literally Brock Lesnar's elbow going in the side of Cena's head, and then Lesnar did a clothesline. What was his nickname?
What's up?
Oh, it's Bork.
Oh, we saw a sign. It was like Bork Laser.
Bork Laser.
I don't know.
Bork Laser.
Clotheslined Cena, and then you saw the blood just start flowing, and then you see the ref getting gloves. Everybody start freaking out. Blood. PG. But whenever you knew something was happening, because Cena came back with the 3 moves of doom, and then they spent a lot of time just like watching Cena, and it seemed like they wanted him to do something. Like we all thought, somebody else is gonna come and knock the crap out of him, but then he's like, I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm gonna be going bye-bye for a while. It's just pretty much, it seems like he's going away for a while, but if you actually looked at his shoulder, his left shoulder looked like it was like an inch and a half lower. Mm-hmm. So his shoulder actually would be screwed up or something. He could actually be physically injured, not just leaving, but it's all speculation. We'll see tomorrow, and I don't read spoilers, so I'm just going to wait and see.
Right. To all the wrestling fans out there that attend live events, spell check your signs, please.
Coldent.
I saw it. We were all sitting there like
Lesnar couldn't save the UFC.
And it's like they spelled that right. It said couldn't. I'm like, if you're fucking autistic, I don't think you spelled that fucking right. It's couldn't.
And here's the thing.
Bork Laser.
Oh my god. Here's the thing with that sign, the UFC one. It was so pretty. They had lights on it and everything.
They had to work on that for weeks.
Yes, and they didn't. Did somebody not tell them?
I hate to be hating on Chicago, but I mean, come on, spell your shit right.
They couldn't have been from Chicago because Chicago wrestling fans know how to spell it,
Hopefully.
Anyway, back to the match. Super Brock against Superman John Cena. Woohoo! I was actually kind of happy with Cena get his ass kicked. Just the blood is just like this MMA squash by Lesnar at the beginning of it, and then as it went on, you get watching Cena trying to Hulk up and do a comeback. I don't know if he's leaving for a while, if we're just now making a movie, what's actually going to happen with this. But the way he kind of talked is he was saying something that little Johnny was going to fire him over, so I don't know what's coming to this. And maybe if he does go away for a little bit, he'll come back heel. Because he was kind of, the way he was talking about Chicago and building up the Chicago fans, just like he's getting ready to say, screw you, just that little, it's building up for that little turn, just didn't turn yet.
Yeah, hot damn. This was, this was really entertaining. Like, it was definitely not what I expected, but it's like I just couldn't look away. Like, I just wanted to continue to see what they were going to do here. Like, just busting them open. It literally looked like a fight. I think the only wrestling move that Lesnar did was like 2 German suplexes. Man, you should have seen mine and J-Man's face when he walked out with the UFC gear on. We just was like,
Jimmy Jones.
Oh, what the hell is he doing here?
No.
And he went out there and he had the gloves on, and I was like, man, what the hell are they doing with this? And they went out there and had this just fight, busted each other, both of each other. Cena took a lot of just nasty spots. Lesnar just playing this badass and just. Oh god, Lesnar with that flying spot, which we just lost our shit. We laughed our fucking asses off. It was funnier than shit. But this was just massively entertaining. Like I just didn't know what they were doing. Like I was really couldn't wait to see what they were going to do next. As a wrestling match, not really too much going on. But as a complete fight and something that just kind of just weirded me out, but I couldn't look away. Like just
entertainment.
2 girls, 1 cup. I wouldn't go that far, but in the same realm, maybe like a lot lower.
Not even the same ballpark.
Oh, whatever. Don't hate on my fetishes, all right?
Yeah, we won't.
This was great, and I liked it. And this, in my personal opinion, is the most entertaining show of the entire year. I absolutely loved it, and I thought it was so much fun, and even with the shitty stuff, we had a lot of fun making fun of it.
Definitely want to talk about the show, but one quick thing before I remember, I was kind of saying something at the end that really there's always a kind of competition and a kind of rivalry between different sports and kind of things like that. And something really big is definitely with pro wrestling or WWE and the UFC over, it's been over the past, since the late 90s and stuff like that. And I really think one big thing, kind of having that symbol of somebody who was in UFC, who had the real deal, was a UFC world champion, and Brock Lesnar coming out in all that gear and the gloves and the boots and everything, and kind of almost, symbolically having John Cena beat him. It's almost like WWE kind of saying, here's a little something at you, and just having John Cena beat Brock Lesnar or something like that. It could be, a little bitty shot from WWE to a kind of UFC thing with something like that, which they've done with numerous things over that. But I just really thought it kind of stuck out to me as something like, shit, maybe that could have been something that happened out of that. But really, as Ryan said, as we all, really express here, this is just a highly entertaining show. Definitely the best in a, quite some time. We'll be talking possibly back in last summer with obviously Money in the Bank and then SummerSlam were both really good shows. But and as me and Ryan were talking about, definitely something to where they want to prove themselves after a WrestleMania that they could still kind of put on this kind of stuff. And that if, they talk shit about a WrestleMania or something like that, just like I was saying, with Backlashes or Extreme Rules or whatever it was right after WrestleMania, those were always some of my really favorite pay-per-views because they always really deliver with a lot of their stuff. And over the past couple of Extreme Rules and everything after WrestleManias have really done that, and they really did it here in a really entertaining and great night of action here. Good stuff there. And this will now wrap up our 2012 WWE Extreme Rules review for my partners, Quad, Robert, and Ryan. Who knows if we'll have all of us back here again, but it was great to have, and obviously it was pretty fun. But I'm your host, J-Man. Thank you for watching another edition of the Instant Wrestling Report, your source for wrestling news, information, opinions, and stuff.